In today's session of Divorce Court, Rachel Richardson says after marrying Dwayne, it didn't take long to find out the kind of guy he really is.
2 weeks into our marriage, he tells me he has 8 kids. Then 2 months ago, he tells me he has 16.
Ooh, wait a minute. Do you really have 16 children?
Yes, I do. I'm really a respectable guy.
Why didn't you tell her how many children you had?
Well, at that time, I was young.
Oh, spare me the young. You were old enough to have 16
Yes.
children.
Yes,
How
you're-
much older do you have to be?
And she never wants to see him again.
He keeps coming in and out of my life saying he loves me.
And I do love her. I still love her today.
You would know the meaning of that word if it slapped you in the face.
Now Rachel Richardson seeks justice as she faces Dwayne Shelley one last time in today's session of Divorce Court.
All rise. Court is now in session. Maybelline Ephraim presiding. You may be seated.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is the matter of Dwayne Shelley versus Rachel Richardson, and I'm advised that after 10.5 years of marriage, rather long marriage for the cases that have come before me, that you're about to end it. Ms. Richardson, why?
Your Honor, this man has done nothing but lie and deceive me throughout our marriage. 2 weeks after we were married,
This innocent-looking man.
yeah, that's looks. But 2 weeks into our marriage, he tells me he has 8 kids. Then 2 months ago, he tells me he has 16.
Ooh, wait a minute. How long did you know this man?
She knew that I had children.
Not long enough, obviously,
Why were you so shocked 2 weeks into the marriage that he had 8 children?
because I never seen him. He never
Well-
spoke about him.
Did you ask about them?
No, I didn't, because
Those are things
you check
that,
out his
Your
history?
Honor, that she hasn't.
Usually,
she
I have 4
haven't.
children.
Hold on a second.
Your Honor, I have 4 children.
Yes.
He's met them. He knows them. He didn't have to ask me. He's seen them.
Well, maybe you have your 4 children with you, and maybe his 8 children are scattered about.
They're somewhere.
Your Honor.
How did
can I
you
speak
marry
on
her
that?
and she didn't know that you had 8 children?
Well, the thing is, Your Honor,
You want to stand up straight?
yes.
Something wrong with your legs?
No, it isn't.
All right.
First thing, Your Honor, I'm going to speak on that as far as my children is concerned. We never discussed children. I never even knew she had 4 until I finally went to her home and met the 4 children.
And
But,
how long was this before you married her?
we were together
Immediately,
maybe
Your
8 to
Honor.
9 years. We
You were together 8 to 9 years?
No, months. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
God.
I'm sorry. I'm more than sorry. 8 to 9 months.
Before you met her 4 children?
Right.
He's lying, Your Honor.
She knew I had some children, but how many children, I'll agree
You
to
just kind of hid
that.
that fact from her.
Well, it wasn't a hidden fact, Your Honor. It
Well,
was
did you
more
tell it to
where-
her?
No, it was we never even discussed it.
But you didn't think that was important for her to know?
Yes, I feel maybe I was wrong at that present
Oh,
time.
you knew
because
you were wrong
yes.
then. Why didn't you tell her how many children you had?
Well, at that time I was young, and like they said, I was.
I was young too, Your Honor, but I didn't.
Oh,
I
spare
didn't
me the
hide
young.
my children.
You were old enough to have 16
Yes.
children.
Yes,
How
Your
much older do you have to be?
Well, you're right.
Do you really have 16 children?
Yes, I do.
16 children?
Yes, Your Honor.
At your age, you appear to be less than 40.
Yes.
So you have a good 30 more years to produce.
Yes.
Not with me, Your Honor, he doesn't.
What are you thinking of, Mr. Shelley? What you doing that you can take care of 16 children?
Well, I'm a foreman at my job.
And it gives you enough money to take care of 16 children adequately.
Well, I'll say they split the money up.
I know they do. That's all they
Your
can
Honor.
do.
Yes.
But are they adequately supported, 16 children?
Yes.
You think so?
Yes, I think so.
When they're
because my
splitting up
children-
your money, what is it, $50 a month each of them? I'm serious.
Your Honor, on that behalf, my children, they're well taken care of.
Let me
They have
just answer my
well
question.
loved.
What is it, $50 a month each of them?
Can't answer.
It's like 65 a month.
$65 a month for each child. That's what.
That's not a month, that's every week.
How do you give each of those children sufficient love and support?
Well, my children, I have too much love for my children. I'll never, ever deny having love for my children. My children are my biggest love to have for
And
in
that's
my
why
life.
you denied that you had them with this woman.
No, it's not why I denied them. Thing was it wasn't a denial thing. The thing was at that present time, we never discussed having children.
if
So
I
it's
hadn't-
just something you just
if I
kind of
hadn't
kept to
asked him,
yourself,
Your Honor,
right?
He would have never told me.
Why did you tell her you had 8? Or
Well,
did you tell her you only
it
had
was
8?
never even talked about how many children I had to begin with.
Okay,
you
well, when you
shouldn't have
finally
to.
told her, did you tell her 8?
No.
What'd you
No.
tell her?
Well, we never discussed it. And then when she finally found out,
He
I just
never
directly
discussed it, Your
told
Honor.
her that I had 16.
Which
When
was
she finally
2 months
found
ago.
out.
2 months
2
ago.
months ago,
2
and you've
months
been married
ago.
for 10 years?
Yes.
10 years
Almost
and a half.
11.
You were married. You didn't see his paycheck anytime during
I've
that
never
time?
seen a
She's never
paycheck.
even seen me. So how could she see a paycheck
What
if
do you mean she didn't see
she
you?
hasn't been with me?
No, we haven't
We
been
haven't been together.
When was the last time you were together?
Your Honor, we see each other
What, a
on
day
spells.
after you got married?
About 2 weeks.
We
2
see each
weeks.
other on spells, Your Honor. We see each
We
other.
were living with my mom, Your Honor, and my mother came to me and Mr. Shelley one day and said that Mr. Shelley was going to have to start paying some bills. Well, I knew he couldn't do that.
Why couldn't he? He's making money.
He didn't have
said.
any.
Well, I
no,
didn't have a
he's
job
just-
at that time.
He's just now becoming responsible, I
Oh, he
guess.
just started taking
Yeah.
care of these children. Mhm.
Exactly.
Oh, so
exactly.
he didn't have a job.
No,
Right.
he didn't have
You're
a
living
job.
with your mother.
With my
You
mom.
have 4 children.
I have 4
I tell
children.
you, poor mothers. Do we ever stop working and taking care of children?
Once a mom, always a mom.
Yeah, well, this one stops, honey. I don't take care of them. 4 children.
Yes, Your Honor. And
So you weren't working either?
I was doing private duty nursing.
So
And
when did you stop living together?
when I couldn't afford to keep the hotel bills up.
What
and our
hotel
food
bills?
Cut that out.
Oh,
What hotel
look,
bills?
when my mom told Mr. Shelley that he had to leave, she didn't
Never,
put.
never.
And I decided to go with my
Never,
husband because we
ever.
just got married.
When we first got together, it was just a party thing. Then
If it was just a party
I
thing,
had
Your Honor,
children.
Who
but
had the money?
Be-
What?
be
I'm sorry.
quiet, let
I'm
me
sorry,
hear
Your
you.
Honor.
I had children, which, like you say, I should have maybe told her. I should have told her, especially if this is someone I claim to love, and I do love her. I still love her today, you know.
Yeah.
And
You
we
wouldn't know
have.
the meaning of that word if it slapped you in the face.
Like I feel like doing, because he's lied through.
Because I'm
me.
sure that you told every last one of those women that you had those babies by that you
Yeah,
loved.
No.
not, and he doesn't have 2 by any one woman.
Okay, go on and finish
You
your
know.
statement. I'm sorry. I just had to say that. You can get mad all you want. I don't care. But I know that those women weren't laying up having babies with you and you were telling them you hated them.
No.
So you had to have been saying some little love words and whispering some
Yes.
sweet nothings in their ear.
The same
Well,
crap he told me.
I'll say this to you, Your Honor.
You just tell me your story. Don't try to get smart with me. That's the best bet for you.
When divorce court returns, the judge questions Rachel about the possibility she may have cheated during the marriage.
If you haven't lived with him for almost 11 years, then I venture to say that you're involved in a little few relationships too.
If you would like to have the judge hear your case in divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or email us at www.divorcecourttv.com. Divorce Court is back in the case of Rachel Richardson, who says her husband Dwayne waited until they were married to tell her he was the father of 16 children.
I'm really a respectable guy, you know.
So why didn't you provide for this woman that you married? Why are you guys living in a hotel and with her mother and you're a respectable, upstanding young man?
Well, at that present time when I was going on with my life, I was going about my life, I was young. Like I said, now I'm going to take
He
into
wasn't too young
consider
to
it.
marry me,
You
Your
were
Honor.
25 years old 10 years
No.
ago?
Well, yes.
Okay.
And
You weren't too young to get married,
I mean, you're right.
so you weren't too young to work. I was working at 25.
He played basketball. That was his work.
But
and
at that
hanging out
present
with
time,
his boys, as
I
he call them.
didn't have a job at that
He
but
didn't
let me
want a
ask you
job.
this.
His job was using women.
Let me ask you this. If you were young and you have 16 children now,
Yes.
so you're telling me at age 25 you had 16 children when you first married her?
No,
you already
he-
had
No.
them?
Your Honor.
Oh,
No,
hold
you know-
on. You said no?
No.
So you've had 16 children since you've been married to your wife?
No, I didn't have
He's
16
had 2
children.
since he's been married to me, Your
I
Honor.
had one child that she knew about that was on the way before we got married.
Your Honor, he's lying. You are
And
lying.
which
you
I
had
didn't
somebody
know
pregnant
that
at
this
the
was
time.
my
He is
child,
Your Honor,
and which
when I
the
met
lady
this
that I
man-
was
Miss
dealing with
Richardson,
when I
was
met
with
this
someone
man-
else.
Stop. Let him tell me because you just found out about it. So he has to know how many children he had and when. All right, now finish it.
one child I had that was on the way, and I swear to myself, I said it wasn't my child.
Like the rest
I
of them.
denied the child at that time, but I've never ever denied any of my other
So
children.
this is right at marriage.
This was when before we got married.
How many did you have on the day you married her?
He
Your
don't
wife.
know.
14.
14 children, and you were 25 years old.
14.
And you trying to tell me you're gonna chalk it up to being young?
Well, it wasn't just being young. It was just I was
Just out having fun, and sex to you was all a game.
well,
You didn't understand that sex produced children.
Yes, yes, I did. I wouldn't say that.
And
yes.
you never got the message that you needed to stop
Not even
producing
after
all
he
of
got
these
married,
children.
he didn't. He had a
At
child
age
during our marriage.
25, you had 14 children. You were still a child. Ms. Richardson, it seems to me, how long did you people know each other before you got married?
Almost a year.
Yes.
Almost a year.
I agree with that.
I admit that's my mistake, but
So if you stayed with him for 10 years, and are you leaving him just because you just found out that he has 16 children?
well, no, that's not the only reason. Mr. Shelley has been lying and lying and lying ever since I've known him.
About what else?
He lied
I would like to hear that.
from day one. The first thing he lied to me is about his age. He told me he was, I think I was 27 or 28 when we met. He told me he was the same age. It took his mother to tell me his real age.
And all you had to do was look at a driver's license or something if it was really that important to you.
Well, he
or
looked
ask
at
his
older.
mother.
He looked at older.
Well, so it really
you
didn't
know.
matter to you.
It mattered. It mattered because I never dated anyone
So if
younger
it
than
really
myself.
mattered, then you would have made certain of his age.
Yeah, well,
So
you're
it
right.
didn't really matter.
You're right. I guess it didn't.
Move on.
But the other thing is that Mr. Shelley lied about, before we even got married, was this woman being pregnant by him. He denied it. He said it was this other guy's. Then it took his mom
Your Honor,
to tell me after
I'll
we
totally
were
go
married.
against
And so
that.
this
the
is the
baby
lady that was
born.
pregnant before you married
Exactly.
him, and therefore the baby was born shortly after you
After
married
we
him,
married.
right?
Right.
And you knew then that it was his child, or shortly
After his
thereafter.
mother told me. He didn't
Okay,
tell me.
But that was 9 years ago at least. So what? Now you know about a baby, and you've been knowing for the last 9 years.
Yes.
Why is it so important now? Why does it matter now?
It,
Why does it
mattered
cause a
then.
divorce
it
now?
mattered then, but it's just been nothing but lies, Your Honor.
And nothing but lies. I got the same thing in
Nothing but
return.
lies.
Well,
See,
why you
because
can live
this-
together for 10 years
Everything
and all of
I
a
have
sudden
in
those
life-
things make
Oh,
such
no,
a
we
difference?
haven't
Nothing
lived
but
together.
in
We
return
haven't
of
lived
being lied.
together in almost 11 years. This man
Oh,
keeps
so you got
coming-
married and that was it.
That
so
was it.
you just have a marriage on paper.
That's
Right.
all. It's never
I
been
agree
a
with
marriage
that.
in act.
So sis, if you haven't lived with him for almost 11 years, then I venture to say that you're involved in a little few relationships too.
Oh yeah,
And I agree with
I'm
that.
human.
She has too
I
many
sure
relationships.
have, and they was better men than you was ever a husband to me.
So, but you selected him, didn't you?
Yeah, I did, but I
So what does that
selected
say
a
about
liar.
you?
A liar.
What does that say about you, though?
It says that I'm stupid.
No,
That's what it
it
says.
doesn't say that you're
yes,
stupid.
it does, because he lied to me
It
from
says
the
that you didn't
beginning.
take the time
To
to
learn.
investigate.
That's true.
That you let your emotion
Yeah.
and probably your lust overtake you.
That's true. You're right.
And you're still doing the same thing in these other affairs that you said are better men. Why are they so much better?
Because they are men. They don't profess to love me, and I don't profess to love them. This man comes, every 3 months and tell me, he loves me, let's get back together, and I believe him like a fool.
Well, I like to hear
And-
that.
Do you get back together?
No,
We
he doesn't,
never ever
he
get
doesn't
back
call
together.
again
I can
till
give you
3
the
or 4
reason
months
why we
later.
never get back
What?
together.
Yeah, tell me.
Well, the reason we never get together, because once we are together, what is she telling me?
I don't know.
She's doing
We're never
things-
together till
she's
once
doing
to get
things
together, Your Honor.
to
What are
where
you talking
she's
about?
telling me, like, she's telling me about these other men. Oh, he does this or he does that.
This man,
she
tell
does
me,
things
listen,
to me.
this man has
to
slept with
where
my friend.
I've
this
never
man-
ever
What
been
are you
with a woman
talking
that's
about?
ever told me to where
never been with
you
a
make,
real woman,
he makes
for
better
one.
love, or he
So-
does this, or he does that, or
So
she talks
maybe you
about the
finally
man.
met your
Here.
match. You know, I don't want to hear anymore. What you want?
All I want from this man, all I want from this man is, I think, the hell that he's done put me through.
How he put you through hell and you were gone in 2 weeks?
I didn't have any choice, Your Honor. I
But
didn't
the
have any
point
more
is,
money.
if you've
I
been
spent
away
all
from
my
him,
money.
if you've been away from him since 2 weeks after the marriage,
Yes.
and you haven't lived under the same roof, and you haven't done anything together as man and wife, you've been
Oh,
apart.
yes, we have. We've been together, but not living together.
That's what I'm saying. You've been living separate lives.
Yeah.
How has he put you through hell?
Because he keeps coming in and out of my life saying he loves me, he professes his love,
And who
but he
lets
never
him in and
does
out?
anything for me. He has all these
Ms. Richardson,
women.
who lets him in and out?
I do. I do because I believe him.
Am I supposed to
believe
charge him for that? What am I supposed to do for that?
Should have, I hope help him grow up and be the adult and the man that he professed to be.
They didn't give me that job.
You know,
I can't help him be
and
an
I feel
adult.
like, Your Honor, if this man could take
I
care
raised
of...
my children. I can't raise him.
Okay, this man...
That's not my job.
True. That's true. But
You
this
didn't come to
man
me to ask me to raise your husband, did you?
No. No, I didn't, Your Honor.
So what you want him to pay for? What you want him to do?
I think this man
Well,
should
Your
give me
Honor, I
spouse.
like
Hold
to
on a
say
second.
this
She
is-
hasn't said anything yet. What do you want me to do?
I think the emotional stress this man has
I can't
put
pay for
me-
that,
put me
unfortunately.
through.
Okay? I can't
think this
compensate you
man-
for that.
He's going around talking about he makes so much money, $1,600, and this man is not paying no child support for no 13 kids, not even 3 kids.
Okay, so those are not yours, not your worry. Do
No.
you have any children behind?
Oh, no.
Okay, good.
No.
That's
why I
not
say
your
she
worry.
don't even
And
know.
Okay, so now what
blessed.
do you want from me?
You know what? I think I deserve something from this man other
What?
than... I think he should...
Your Honor,
I
I'll
think
say...
he should
Let her
pay.
tell me.
I think he should pay me spousal support for everything. I mean, he's done put me through a hell, and he's still doing it.
When divorce court returns, the judge renders her verdict.
You never became dependent upon him for your support because by your own admission, he never worked.
And an update on the case of Kim West versus Derek West.
I asked her, why did she marry me? She told me she was bored, didn't have nothing else to do.
Divorce Court will be back in session in a moment. Divorce Court is back in the case of Rachel Richardson, who's divorcing her husband Dwayne after he admitted to fathering 16 children.
So how much did he pay you and how long?
Well, since he's making $1,600 a week, so he professed
Okay.
to everybody.
How much?
$300 wouldn't be nothing for him to give up, would it?
Well, Your Honor, on
What's
that,
your position on
note, that goes directly on bills and things like that. To
What
where my
bills? You don't
children
live
are the
anywhere.
very
You don't
first
live with-
thing.
you don't have bills.
And my
You know what?
children
I'm gonna
are
stop this.
always with
He
me.
don't have any bills,
My
Your
children
Honor.
are always around me. That's my number
sorry,
one
Your Honor.
priority
He doesn't
is
have
to
any
take care of
bills.
my children. That's
know,
my number one priority right now
You know
in
what?
life.
Yeah, you better know it.
That's
all
why he
you
told
working
me
for.
about him.
But
And that's what I'm working for right now,
That's all
directly
you
for my
working for.
children.
I can't do that for you. You know why? You didn't live together long enough as man and wife. You never became dependent upon him for your support because by your own admission, he never worked, so you said, and you always took care of him. So then how now do I order spousal support? Spousal support is ordered to keep you in the same standard of living and position as you became accustomed to during the marriage. You guys never established a standard of living because you never lived together. So you lived separate and apart most of your marriage. You took care of yourselves.
Well, shouldn't he,
Nah,
Your
you
Honor?
keep on living separate and apart.
and then-
Divorce granted, good night, goodbye.
When Divorce Court returns, an update on the case of Kim West versus Derek West.
There's a reason why you married a man knowing him in such a short time.
I needed a babysitter.
Closed captioning for Divorce Court provided by. If you would like to have the judge hear your case in Divorce Court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or email us at www.divorcecourttv.com. And now for an update on a previous case in Divorce Court. Derek West said his marriage to his wife Kim ended because she never loved him.
I asked her, why did she marry me? She told me she was bored, didn't have nothing else to do.
There's a reason why you married a man knowing him in such a short time.
I needed a babysitter.
You brought in a man into your home knowing him for 2 weeks.
And Kim says after Derek left, he turned into a stalker.
He's peeping in my windows, knocking on my doors, ringing my doorbells.
You're sounding like a 2-year-old. Both of you need some counseling on different levels.
Kim said Derek vandalized her car on several occasions, and she wanted him to pay for the damages. The judge ordered Derek to reimburse Kim for the cost of repairing her car. Derek says he and his new girlfriend are living together, and he finally has someone who appreciates him. Kim says that there hasn't been any more damage to her home or to her car, and she's thrilled to have a new man in her life, especially since he has a job.
I love the judge's decision because I think the judge was right about that decision as far as we're separated. We've never really lived together. We've never really even done anything to hold up our marriage.
I guess she's right. We didn't have a marriage. I have to respect her judgment.